how to use Yoast SEO plugin for WordPress. In this video session, I'm going to share with you a custom code whereby you can easily use for your own WordPress setup using Yoast. Now, this video session will not show you how to set up Yoast because I've already done that in the previous video session. If you haven't installed Yoast and set it up, then simply watch Yoast SEO setup video by RankYa. It can be found on my blog as well as RankYa YouTube channel. So in this video, we're going to go one step further so that you can get better Google rankings when you follow RankYa tutorials and RankYa SEO methods, because I show you core principles of Google rankings without spamming Google. Now, this Yoast plugin is very popular, okay? For WordPress, let's make no mistake about it. So therefore, when you think of Google rankings, it doesn't matter what plugin you use. It doesn't matter what type of content management system you have. None of that matters. What matters is the content that you create. Because that's the rule for online success. It's the content that you create. And what is content? Content is images, videos, textual, blog posts, articles, PDF. Anything you put on your website is called content. So therefore, since WordPress is very popular, blogging should be part of what you do, regardless of the type of business that you have. Whether you're operating an e-commerce site, whether you're a small business owner, blog posts give you the option to build authority online. Furthermore, blog posts actually help you rank your money-making keywords as well. That's why blogging is a must. It increases text count, as in word count on your site. It allows you to target longer-tailed keywords. It allows you to internally link to your important pages. It allows an opportunity for people to naturally share your content. And at the end of the day, that's what your visitors want. Whether you're running e-commerce and your customers, whether you're a small business owner, still your customers, and so on. That's what people want from your website. And therefore, that's what Google wants as well, okay? So many people using Yoast make an honest mistake thinking, oh, Yoast has all these settings and it seems I need to follow that. It's a useful plugin if you know how to use it. Okay, so let's not talk about search engine optimization, but rather let's learn how we can extend Yoast SEO plugin. So, first rule, when you modify any files on a WordPress installation, you never do that through your dashboard. Okay, although you can, most setups allow you to do that through Appearance Themes Editor. Within that, you have a functions.php file. Okay, in this file is a lot of important codes. Where is this file located on your server? When you log into your web hosting account, find File Manager, press on that, then you'll be taken to your installation directory. Within that, there is a folder called public_HTML. That is the usual naming convention. So if yours is something else, nonetheless, remember, WordPress is installed somewhere. You need to locate it. And within that, there is a folder called WP-content. And in there, you have themes folder. Now, you have a specific theme that you're using. The name of it can be found under Appearance when you press on Themes link. Here is the active theme that I am using, so yours will be different. Once you locate whichever one that is, simply browse into it. Then you have a functions.php file there. Whether you're using a child theme or parent theme, whichever active theme that you're using, download functions.php locally. If something goes wrong, you can upload this file back, overwriting any changes you are going to make to extend the capability of Yoast. Okay? So now we understand the importance of a backup. Let's go and see what this video tutorial is all about. You see, there is these functions and all this gibberish code here. What this code does is it gives you the ability to pull out the SEO title and description and showcase it anywhere, whether it's on the sidebar, whether it's on the footer section, and so on. Basically, it automates it automates pulling out important information and showcasing it on the front end. Because as you may right now know, the importance of setting up and using Yoast, as I've shown to you, right? So when you create blog posts, web pages, e-commerce products, what's very critical is for you to optimize the content while you're creating it. Make sense? So think it like this. Let's imagine you want to create how-to or a manual or some information, right? You sit down, you say, all right, you know what? I go to Google to get some fresh ideas. I can say how to Yoast as an example. Then let's say SEO, and I can kind of see there is many how-to related keywords here, right? But I can then say, okay, what else is people searching? Can I say A, B, C, D, all to do with Yoast? I can also be a little bit clever if I want and wrap certain keywords within double quotes. Because when I do that in Google search, what I'm saying, you know what, Google, make sure whatever you're going to show me next contains these two words precisely in that order. So now I can say, okay, how about now? How to A, can I say A? Can I say B? Make sense? Because now you can see different information quickly and easily using Google search box. Because this is how you end up finding those gold nuggets to grow your online business. Okay? This is how you target long-tailed keywords, by experimenting in Google search. Once you find long-tailed keywords, then you know that's what your ideal customers are searching for. If that's the case, you create the content on your website accordingly. Now, let's imagine you're operating an e-commerce site and you've already set up your products. Surely product name will be the same, or not same, your product name will be unique. Well, then you can search for, let's imagine this scenario. Let's say SEO course is a product. SEO course. Now I can say, okay, Google, you know what? Show me some ideas. What are people searching related to SEO course? Make sense? So simply replace whatever the keywords with your target keywords. And one way or another, learn to experiment with Google search box to find ideas for you to create content around. Knowing that longer tail keywords are rather easier to rank than competitive keywords. But the trick is, to rank competitive keywords, you actually need to begin by creating content targeting long tail keywords. Without that, it's just not possible unless you start spamming Google through backlinks and all that. You need to avoid most of the SEO information circulating around internet, particularly coming from so-called gurus, okay? All you need to do is work out what people are searching for, begin with long tail keywords, and create useful content. That's all it takes to rank in Google, really. Then you do the basic search engine optimization on the page, and then share the content on your own site, social profiles, and so on. And encourage people to share your content. Okay? But once you create useful content, people will naturally share it. So now, let's imagine we've created this content targeting these long tail keywords. Then, as I've relayed to you in the previous video session for setting up Yoast, you then say, okay, you know what? Let me put an SEO title there. Also, we need to then make this description rather unique, because what will happen is Google will visit this URL and look at the source code of it, because that's what Google does. Then, by the standards of World Wide Web Consortium, each URL document must have a title element, which then is this here. Okay, so that will be the title coming from here. Also, Yoast SEO plugin gives you the option to have meta description, which then is our description, right? So what we put here shows up here. But you see, this is only for search engines like Google. Only Google looks at this to see what this page is about. That information is not shown on the page unless you use this function here. Okay? So basically all we need to do is locate functions.php file, and I'm not gonna edit it on the cPanel web hosting, but I'm gonna do it here just to show you. Okay, so anywhere in that file, you just place that. Okay, I know it looks gibberish here because it's on the site here. You can always download the zip format because I think that's much easier. I'll show you the zip format. Okay, so now let's just view it. So that's the function. I would encourage you to download the zip format anyway, okay? So that function can go towards the end anywhere, and you just place it as such. Then you simply save that functions.php, whether you're working locally or externally. Then once you save that file, what you then need to do is simply go to appearance, go to widgets, if you want to showcase that information on the sidebar. Okay, we've got text here. Let's see what I've placed there. And that's a shortcode. It needs to be wrapped within brackets. I'll actually remove it just to show you what happens. Let's say widget. Now let's go and see this information here. It will be gone. This information is what that code pulls out from. It taps into Yoast SEO title. It also taps into Yoast meta description. Remember, meta description is not known. It's not shown to the front end user. But with that function that I use, you can now showcase that meta description on the sidebar or on the footer section. Footer section could be a little bit tricky if you are not experienced, tweaking WordPress. Usually the content that goes within the footer section comes from your theme settings or widgets. As we can see, we've got first footer, second footer. So the way Google works is when it looks at a website, right, it looks at what's unique. That's what you rank for in Google, unique content. The footer section for most WordPress sites, in fact for most websites, has links that repeat throughout different pages. The way Google treats that is Google treats it as a placeholder content area. Make sense? It may not even, put much value on the content that you place on the footer or even the sidebar, because this footer section will be the same whether I am looking at this one, or this one. Let's take a look. You see, the way you understand what's been shared right now is going to make the difference for your Google rankings. As we can see, footer section for this URL is same. Footer section for this, it's the same, right? Nothing changes. But when Google looks at that, then it doesn't place much relevance on this section because it knows it's repeated on each URL. Same is true with the sidebar as well. Makes sense? Sidebar, as you can see, it's the same. It's the same. But now let's go back to that text here. Let's place that shortcode. That's what it's called, shortcode. Simply go into text area, insert RankYa mastery function as a shortcode, then save widget. Okay, so all you need to do, if you don't see a widget there, just grab the text, as in add the text to post widget anyway. Then you just place that functions as in shortcode. Now let's refresh. Let's refresh, not that one. Let's refresh this one, because now what happens? That function pulls that information, SEO title and meta description, especially meta description as well, because that is unique right now. Because that's what you're meant to do for optimizing landing pages. You need to have unique description describing the page. The title is all around the target keywords. Meta description surely will be related to that as well. But now that function allows you to pull that information and showcase it. If you want it on sidebar, you place it on sidebar. Let's say you didn't want it on the sidebar, but you want it in the footer section. Then work out, let's imagine this scenario. Let's add the text widget to a footer section. Here I can say first footer area, select as one. Let me paste that. Let me save changes. Now let me go back and look at this footer section. It will be here now. Watch. Surely that looks silly, but I've just demonstrated to you. You can have it in the sidebar if you want. Or if you say, you know what, I don't want it on the sidebar. I want to create a section on the footer somewhere and place that information in the footer section. So you can do that if you so please, okay? So let's actually delete that, because I tend to forget to remove things after I create these videos for RankYa fans. So it's this first widget area. Let me actually grab that and let me actually delete it. So it will be gone from here now. Okay. Now, why is that very important? Well, I wouldn't say very important, but all of a sudden, by using a function, tapping into Yoast, you've just made the placeholder be unique. So therefore, it will help Google to crawl your website much better and much quicker. Furthermore, it will also add unique content to the entire URL simply by tapping into Yoast meta description and the title as well, allowing you to increase keyword count much intelligently without, bloating your communication, because copywriting is very critical. We don't want to just place things here or there thinking that's going to help us rank. What's more important is conversion. Make sense? So therefore you create content for your visitors, and then you do the right things, as in do the title, use some keywords, use headings, emphasize certain tags. If you're showcasing videos or images, optimize them. Learn to internal link. And then this is just a simple method that will definitely serve you better, because in this URL, if that's what I'm trying to rank for, now all of a sudden I've got the same title on the sidebar, which is a different section on a page. So definitely visit RankYa blog to grab the function. I've shown to you where to place it. I would encourage you to download the zip file because within that the code looks much cleaner. Basically there's two functions. One is to grab the title of a post. Then we've created another function for a shortcode, and as we can see it's within the P paragraph element tapping into Yoast internal functions. Okay, surely you can perhaps change what you see here in terms of the text and so on. Okay, so that's one RankYa insight that you can definitely use if you're using Yoast SEO plugin, particularly if you're blogging. As I've said at the beginning, you should definitely be blogging regardless of the type of website that you're operating on internet. I thank you very much for learning with me. If you benefited from this video session, please do give it a like and share it, and I'll talk with you in the next video session.